Okie dokie. So I wheeled it out here this morning and took the pressure washer to it again. Got some more of the layers of crud off. Definitely cleaned up the hood quite a bit. Didn't wash it, just pressure washed. No soap or anything like that. Got that all done. Cleaned up the spare wheel. This tire's completely shot, but that's done. The wheels I'm going to sell, which were the extra wheels that came with it, I cleaned up, so I'll post those up for sale. So now that we got her all nice and clean, I'm gonna go ahead and get the soft top frame carried over here and see about starting to set up the soft top. Carrying the frame over wasn't too terribly hard. I left this section all together, so basically I just have to bolt it down. The other one I have is all in pieces. I have a whole baggie of parts, but before I get too carried away, I need to take some photographs. That way I can have a nice sales ad. So that's what I'm gonna do real quick. All right, so the top is mostly, or the frame is mostly on. I just have the two little pieces on each side that need to be screwed in, but all of the corner pieces are on. Everything else is on. I'm having kind of a hard time getting it to lock on this side, but I think it's just because I'm weak on this side. I'll have to use like a screwdriver to push it over. So I still need to do the front rail so I can put the top on, but everything else lined up pretty nice and easy. So my question is, are these supposed to be on the same side of that little button or not? I can't really tell. It looks like this one's farther forward than the other. Can't really tell. And I forgot when I took it off. But once we get everything lined up, we'll know. All right, so I took pictures of this. That's why the hood's up. I'm gonna go ahead and lay the hood down, get that upper piece so I can do that. And I'll install those two brackets there laying right here. And that will be all of the framework, and then we can get the top and put it on, but we're gonna take a short break once we get this last couple pieces on. Well, everything else was going great until we got to here. And now we're not having such luck. I got two of the bolts on the other side, the corner one and the first one. They went in good and tightened down. This one went in good and tightened down. But all the rest of them apparently are stripped. So I either need to find something a little larger to go in these. I need to see about getting a hammer and bending this down. I think that if it goes down, I can get this corner one. But I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do about the rest. So I gotta look for some hardware. Okay, so other than 4 of the screws, 2 on each end, the rest of the holes are all stripped. They are too big for the hardware or the screws that I have. My options are either A, get larger screws, which means a trip to the hardware store. B, pop rivets. Again, a trip to the hardware store because I can't find my pop rivet gun. Or C, I've got some self tappers and just drill some new holes that aren't completely buggered out. We're going with C because that's what I have, and I want to get this done. And what's a couple more holes? But yeah, I'll just go in between where the other ones were. It should be enough to hold it and should be good to go. But yeah, this thing's had a couple of different tops over its lifetime, so apparently whoever took the screws or put them in one time, they stripped all the holes out. So all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick, and that way we can get the front one on, and then we can go ahead and put the top on. All right, so we just went in between where the holes were stripped out. Apparently mine was stripped out because several of these already had pre-drilled holes. So we got all new in there. They're all nice and tight. So now we can put the soft top on. So let me go grab that. Okay, so I grabbed the soft top. So if you've never done a soft top and you're doing it by yourself or with other people, start at the front. You want to get that front lip in into the trim. I always like to get some of these side clips secured. That keeps it from flopping around. And then I just work my way back once I get, and I leave these bent. And then once I get it over the top and I get them into the sides, this back corner, because these are windows on the side, then I straighten up the arms, and it should make it nice and tight. If it doesn't, then something should be out of a line. But it literally shouldn't take you very long, even doing it by yourself. I've already fallen off my step stool once today. Got myself pretty good. So, all right. So I'm just going to tuck this in along the rail, get it squared. I'll get a couple of these clips in on each side, and then I'll work my way back, and then I'll come back and finish putting them in. Okay, so front strip is in. I've got, I think, 3 on this side. Yeah, 3 out of the 5. I did 2 on that side, then I came back here and started pulling on this so that everything would start to tighten up. We are just about where we want to be, because that seam should be on that bar, so that's a good thing. Next thing I want to do is work these corners. It's a little tricky because they don't want to stay bent, but as you do this, you'll also straighten that arm up and it'll tighten everything up. Okay, so I would say that is the approximate angle you want to try to put this back bar. It's almost vertical, not 100%, but it's enough to hold these corners in place, so that it doesn't want to keep popping out. So now we should be able to push these up and then put the pin back in, and everything should be nice and snug. And then you just have to make whatever final adjustments at that point. I did have to switch this pin around because the pointing end was pointing towards the fabric top, and I want it pointing away, so as it flaps it doesn't rub a hole in it. That would be terrible. So I got to go around and do the other side, and then I got to hook up the snaps, then it's ready for the windows. All right, so the way I end up doing this is I get the zipper started in the top corner and this bottom one, I zip them on, and then I just pull down on the bottom edge, turn that plastic piece out a little bit, get it started, and then just work it away. There should be enough stretch in the top for you to do that. I do look like we have some minor fitment issue right here. Oh, I know why, because we didn't put it in the track. That's okay. We will now. Oops. All right, I need both hands. There we go. Now we have it correctly in there. And I always do this one last because it's the hardest one to do. But everything else is in. Zippers are in. So that's what that side looks like, and we'll knock out the other one. And somewhere I have the crossbar for this. It's got to be in the garage. I do have the one that came with the other top if I need it, but I wanted to sell that with the extra parts, so we'll find that part too and get that done. All right, well, this is as far as I'm gonna get. I can't lift my left arm above my shoulder for very much. I tore the rotator cuff, so it's becoming a challenge to get these last panel in place. I do need to adjust the door panels. They're both off a little bit. They're a little crooked, but not too bad. So it's all done, and that's what it looks like.